And to a much happier note, online from Venture Southland, we have Blair Wolfgram. Good morning, Blair.
Morning, Tina. How are you?
I'm very good. For our listeners' information, Venture Southland is the regional development agency for Southland.
Yes, I'm not from Venture Southland, though.
Ah, are you the guy with the gin?
Yes,
Excellent.
I'm from Ocean Beach.
I had some late night texts last night from the chief executive of Venture Southland, and we were talking about a range of things. But no, hey, look, I'm so pleased to have you on.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. No, that was Shami from Great South.
That's right.
CEO of Great South.
Yes, that's right. I keep calling them Venture Southland because that was their previous iteration.
Yeah, great organisation doing amazing things with Murihuku. So
yes, they are, aren't they?
Awesome.
Yeah. And one of them you're involved in. So tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we're very excited. We're opening the Bluff Distillery in 16 days at Ocean Beach and Bluff. So it's been a labour of love for sort of a family of partners, and we're very excited to bring some Bluff gin to New Zealand and the world. So
are you from? Are the partners from Bluff, or what made you locate there?
Yeah, a lot of them are. I actually invested in Southland in 2018, so 5-6 years ago now, and we bought the former Ocean Beach Meatworks in Bluff, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yeah, we've been talking about it a lot this morning.
Yes, yeah. So Ocean Beach was opened in 1891 by Sir Joseph Ward, and sadly shut in 1991. And the previous owners were basically starting to demolish a lot of the older buildings there, and we managed to purchase it in 2018 off those fine men. And since then we've been working on developing a land-based aquaculture centre of excellence at Ocean Beach, the remaining 45 buildings.
Yep.
And I guess part of that vision is to have a hospitality and tourism aspect to it as well, where people can come and enjoy the beautiful coastline there at the end of the South Island anyway.
Yeah.
And taste some gin and have a look at the different species that we're farming at Ocean Beach and taste some of them as well. So
I think it's a fascinating and a wonderful concept. So what sort of species are they doing with the aquaculture?
So we're farming pawa. We're just starting to come to market with the pawa at the moment. We've been farming that.
And are you doing the little cocktail pawas, as they call?
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yum.
And you can try some of that at Ammersfield Restaurant in Queenstown at the moment.
It's probably a little bit out of my price league. It's on my list to do.
It's well worth the investment, Tina, trust me. Vaughan Mabee, the head chef there, just won the 44th best restaurant in the world.
I saw that. Yeah.
And
he does mutton bird too, which I think is quite fascinating.
He does.
And we've actually had mutton bird that my family has caught been served on his tables.
Yeah, amazing. Well done. Yeah, I'd highly recommend it. It is expensive, but it's worth every cent. So get in there. And we're farming whitebait at Ocean Beach as well. So Manaki whitebait are just starting to come to harvest. They're probably more towards the end of the year. We'll start to see a lot more products.
Now tell me, are you an expert with the whitebait?
I wouldn't say I'm an expert. I know a little bit, but I'm. Because
I'm really worried. I'm a whitebait fan, and I've got a wee bit in my freezer right at the moment. In fact, we had some this weekend. I'm really worried that the farm whitebait's going to be more like that very anemic Chinese whitebait that you see sometimes in the supermarkets. Is the whitebait that's being farmed does it look like our New Zealand whitebait, or is it like this sort of pasty cousin?
No, it's giant kawkapu is the species that we're farming down there.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It really is. It's obviously sustainable as well, which is fantastic. And the team do an amazing job of reseeding the wild populations as well. There's a huge amount of work that's gone on, and that's actually where they started. So and through that process, they learned how to breed them and how to farm them, which long term I think is just fantastic for the species. Not many people, a lot of people are obviously very concerned about the bird, which I am personally as well, but not many people sort of focus on the fish or the eels, which are equally as in trouble in certain areas. So it's just great to be, I guess, a little piece of restoring some of that wild stuff. But it does taste beautiful. It's definitely not like the offshore stuff, and it does look a little bit different in that there's a lot more uniformity. Like if you will, the wild has up to 5 different species of whitebait within it.
Yep.
Which not a lot of people know. It's not just the same fish.
No.
And the other thing is that all of the farmed whitebait has been purged, so there's no
guttiness at the end of the season.
Yeah, no guttiness in there. So that is obviously a better result, but it does taste slightly, in my view, better. But others will argue different. So
is that species though? One of the species is slightly greenish, like a very light green, and some of the other species are sort of haven't got that same sheen. And then there's a species that actually has little feet too, like little wee things, suckers on the end of it.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
They can get out of buckets.
The exact species with the they can climb waterfalls.
That's right.
So,
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And I've actually on site we've got all 5 species in a tank, so you can actually see the difference.
Oh, brilliant!
And that's obviously they're juvenile adults, so they don't look anything like a whitebait. They actually look like a like a
big cockabilly.
We'll call it, but big cockabilly, exactly. So, but it's quite cool to see the different fins, and they're all quite different animals. So
and
we're also farming Asparagus, one of our partners here at Sport Global. That's the seaweed that is fed to livestock to reduce the methane in their burps, basically. So, those guys are out of Silicon Valley, founded in New Zealand, but funded out of Silicon Valley in the US, and doing some really exciting stuff.
They've been around for quite a while. I think the first time I came to, the C4 came to my attention was probably about 6 or 7 years ago. And they were floating around looking at what they're going to do.
Founded around then, and they've had a number of sort of pivots, they like to call them, in terms of changes of direction, but they're accelerating at pace. Unfortunately, most of their investment is going into Adelaide and Australia because we had a few challenges at a bureaucracy level in terms of them being able to use the product in New Zealand, but hopefully a lot of that stuff's going to be sorted out.
So what's the seaweeds they're using? What's the common name for it?
It's called Asparagus armata.
Yeah.
It's endemic to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Well, Australasia, it's actually found in Tasmania as well.
Yeah.
But it's a cold water seaweed species.
Yeah. And so what does it look like? Is it got the beads, or is it a ribbon, or like bull cow?
They actually... It's more of a ribbon, but when it's fully grown. But they're actually farming it at the earliest stage of its life cycle, so it's more of like a little puffball, if you like. They're amazing looking organism, and they're just, or plant, I should say, and they're just it's a really, really cool. They've got them growing in tanks inside, and the tanks are glowing, so it looks incredible. You have to come see it, Tina.
Well, I did get invited to the opening, but I was going to be down there doing something else, but I'm not going to be down there doing something else. So sadly, I'm going to miss it, but I will come at some point.
Well, you're welcome anytime. Come and check it out.
My good friend Ian Colley has been on my case, and cousins Maria Pera and then it's Terry Nicholas, of course. So, they've all kept me up with the play with what's happening down there. And I thought this is definitely worth a conversation with someone. So glad to talk to you this morning. So the gin, the other thing is, who are the investors? Who are the other investors besides yourself, if you don't mind saying?
Well, they're friends and family of mine, basically. Right. And we have started discussions with more local investment. I guess at the very beginning, for people that are familiar with Ocean Beach. It's not the prettiest place in the world.
No.
When certainly it was a lot worse when I purchased it with my friends and family. And we've taken a huge amount of risk to sort of get the thing off the ground. And now we're feeling sort of comfortable that the risk is a lot more manageable. We're a lot more clear on our trajectory and the steps that we're taking. So we do feel the last thing we want to do is come to town and get a whole lot of local investment, and things didn't go the way we'd hoped,